Hi, I am Atul. I head the company called 8848 Digital. It is a pleasure for me and my team to be here in this wonderful event. We always look forward to this date every year. Before even I start, I would like to thank Frappe, the entire community, my team, for making this happen, for believing in the journey with us. Thank you so much. Just a quick about us. We do high quality ERPNext implementations and customizations. That is what essentially we stand for. In the previous avatar, we used to do a lot of custom stuffs and all, but now we are very much focused on the Frappe framework and ERPNext. So before we kind of dive into what this is, I'll just give you a high-level view of what we have built and what is that the plan would be to build. Summit is a headless e-commerce platform. You know, e-commerce is anyways an overused term, but the idea is that it does not have a database by itself. It relies on ERPNext completely for its backend logic, its business logic, the data store. It is a completely open source system. It is not just that the headless is open source, the front end is also completely open source for anyone to use. Thank you. The idea again of it being headless is it is all driven by an API-centric architecture. So it is scalable, it is secure, it relies on ERPNext for almost every aspect, and the beauty is it runs on themes. So you can design themes. There are a few themes of what we have built up. You can use those. You can design themes and get them installed. And because of ERPNext, we get the benefit of being a multilingual and a multi-currency as system as well. Overall, what we look forward to do is accelerate the entire online transformation. So we have everything of what you need to sell online. It is a single store for you for all your operations because of ERPNext. And it is a B2B, B2C, and a D2C, or everything combined into one. You want to run it on a single site. You want to run across 3 sites under the same brand, under different brands, connected to the same ERPNext backend, everything is possible. So there are a lot of e-commerces around. So what exactly is that we are planning to solve? Any of the open source e-commerce platform you see, they are an e-commerce platform. They are not an ERP system. They integrate with ERP systems. So you lose on the functionality of what an ERP offers in an e-commerce. For example, I would like to have region-based pricing. I want to have customer group pricing. I want to have dealer-based pricings. You want to kind of build functionalities in the front end with the back end. So that is something which is completely missing, and hence you see that the features are very limited. They are not as flexible as a low-code framework would be. They are difficult to customize because they all rely on the core languages they are built, and hence your maintenance cost and vendor lock-in, everything kind of plays a role. And this is the problem of what we plan to address. So again, is it yet another e-commerce solution? And to answer this, I would like to I like to push through the target demographics of what we'll plan. So one of them is a startup. So whom do we define as startups? These are early stage companies. Either they are individuals, they are hobbyists, side hustlers, or business who don't have an online presence and just want to kind of come online, the brick and mortar stores and all. What kind of solutions do we have? Karan, the next one. What kind of solutions do we have for them? We have a Magento, Shopify, WooCommerce, and the likes. How many of these are actually open source? There is a Magento, WooCommerce, PrestaShop. So these are the ones that are open source, but none of them are ERP systems by themselves. And most of these have their own enterprise plan. It is like an Odoo and an Odoo enterprise. So a Magento has its own enterprise. So there is no completely open system in the e-commerce even available as of date. If you move next to the other target audience, which is enterprises. Now, whom do we classify them? These are established brands. These are high-volume merchants. These are wholesalers, B2B, doing volume transactions. What kind of solutions is that at present do we have for them? There is a Shopify Plus for them. There is a BigCommerce. There is an Adobe Commerce, which actually is Magento. And then there are SAPs, Oracles, and likes. How many of these are actually open source? None of them. And there is a huge gap, there's a huge void when we see e-commerce in the open source platform, and that essentially is what we plan to address with Summit. So why open source? At a high level, if you were to think, it is an easy licensing cost without your hosting, third-party integrations, your customizations, everything aside. This is at a high level of an annual cost of what a company is looking into. And this is why we need to kind of get into the open source side. Our differentiator essentially is ERPNext. Everything else like open source, extensibility, it is enterprise ready. We have all these platforms is essentially because of ERPNext being there. The technology stack of what we have is, it is not built inside of ERPNext. It's a separate stack that uses Node, it uses Next.js, it uses Axios Redux. You can install a layer of themes. Add-ons is actually under development. That is also going to come soon. And then you have your e-commerces. It could be one site, it could be a multi-tenant site. We can structure that way. It runs along with the entire ERPNext stack of what we have connected to Magento. To dive deep into of what it is, I would like Karan to kind of come and help us on the features. So please, Karan, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Atul. So, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Yes. So, I would start off with a brief introduction of myself. I am Karan Tamboli, and I work as a front-end developer. 884 Digital. Today, I will be your guide as we dive deep into the features of Submit. So on the home page, we have a user-specific menu, section personalization, dynamic banner with CTA, accounting ledger, push notifications, etc. And basically, these are the typical e-commerce features that we have with us. On the user-specific menu side, you can see some customer has already been logged in, and you can see 5 of the menu options. But if he logs in with a different customer, he is able to see 3 different menu options. So that's what is user-specific menu. Moving on to, so this is for customers, where you can see 5 different menu options. And for dealers, if he has logged in with a different credentials, he can access 3 menu options. Next up is multilingual support. So multilingual support definitely empowers your customers with, like, they can access the content and interact with the e-commerce site in the language of their choice. Moving on to multi-currency support. So the product prices you can see is changing as the currency symbol changes. So right now, if I change it to euro, the product prices changes to the euro, and this product prices are according to the conversion rate of that particular currency. And multilingual, multi-currency support does not limit itself for the customers of your e-commerce site. It can also prove a point of flexibility options where the businesses can seamlessly have product prices and with different options, thereby enhancing the customer shopping experience for a much larger international customer base. Next up, so yes, this is the slide where, so like you can see there is a Indian rupees, and the price of that particular product is in Indian currency, INR, and the second image shows the prices in USD. And push notifications. So push notifications can definitely benefit any e-commerce business by providing them a real-time updates on discounts, recommended products, etc. With push notifications, your customers of any businesses doesn't have to be on your site, of your e-commerce site. The deals come to them wherever they are. Moving on to product catalog page. So product catalog page obviously have some features like user-based item access, category-specific filtering, where also you can sort your products, quick view, grid view, list view. And basically, these are the typical features of a product listing page that we have in an e-commerce site. I would like to grab your attention to category-specific filtering, where the dynamic filtering um, changes according to the category of your choice, providing you the relevant options which you can cater about. So if I go on to the category laptop, the different set of filters can be seen to the user. And if I change the category to coffee maker, a different set of filters. So yes, this is the image. Quick order. So quick order can prove to be some game changer for B2B domain sites where dealers, they know the SKU codes or OEM part numbers, and they can directly place order by using those SKU codes instead of just navigating and finding those products into different pages. Next up is a product page. So on a product page, we have user-based pricing, variant selection, inventory management, bulk ordering, social media integration, WhatsApp integration, future stock availability, etc. User-based pricing, again, with different customer groups can see the prices of the products differently. So yes, like distinct set of the administrator can set distinct pricing groups for different customer groups. Variant selection. Uh, Consider a product where you have multiple variants of different sizes like small, medium, large, etc. that are also available in different colors as well. So on a B2C platform, your regular customer typically orders a product in a single variant, right? So this is how the UI appears to them. And on a B2B domain, for your dealers, they can order multiple variants at a single time. So this is the UI for your B2B site, and this one is for the B2B site. So if you are a business who serves for both your customers as well as for the dealers, this can be useful for you. Next up is future stock availability. Future stock availability basically helps to predict the availability of a certain product if it's not there in the warehouse right now. Um, let's say, imagine a scenario where a dealer urgently needs to order 1,200 pieces of a product. But right now, you have only 400 pieces in stock. Worried? Future stock availability have you covered as the incoming stock quantity is 700. So basically this incoming stock quantity column is getting data from the purchase order, and the date, the estimated incoming stock date is the required by date in the purchase order. The additional quantity, this is coming from the lead time of your item master, and that will be available by 16th. So that is calculated from the 30 days. Next is the transactions page we have. So again, transactions have discounts, promotions, add to cart wish list page, user tracking, refunds and exchanges, reviews and ratings, everything. Payment gateway, not to forget. So payment gateway is integrated with ERPNext. Next up is a user management page where the user can see the profile manage addresses of the shipping and billing addresses, order history of their previous orders. They can also create a catalog and quotation on demand, etc. Well, yes, and I'll just quickly run you through some screenshots that we have. So this is the checkout page. of our site, where you can see the different addresses, shipping and the billing address of your customer. He gets the order summary with all the taxes, payment gateway charges, assembly charges. He can also apply a coupon, etc. Order listing page, where you can see all these previous orders and the themes. So as I mentioned earlier, like if a business needs, the business deals with both customers and dealers, this can be something useful for them, where they can show a completely different UI for their dealers, and for the customers, they can have a completely different UI for them. And yes, so since this is an open source project, all the code repositories are available on GitHub. We have a front-end application, github.com, submit web app, themes, and Frappe app, everything. These are certain demo sites links, where you can just go and quickly check out our product. You can visit submitb2bdemo.edit4edigital, and the B2C site is available on Submit B2C demo. Yes, that's it from my side. I'll ask Atul to continue.
Thank you. So over the past few months of what we did is, this is not a product, or this is not a solution that has come out of our wish list. This is a product of what we already have 2 sites using them, and this is a customer validated product. So what we understand is that the basic features in some form is what we have essentially covered, and then there is a lot more to actually kind of build up. So the roadmap of what we have is, there's a huge usage of APIs, and we do plan to have an API gateway integrated between ERPNext and Summit, just to have rate limiting, firewalling, all the other controls of what is want, just to make even the transition very seamless if you want to have some other API also integrated through. We do have payment gateways inside of ERPNext, but there are wallets of what are being built up. The user engagement is essential within any e-commerce platform. So you would have likes of a WebEngage, CleverTab, which is kind of complex to integrate into an e-commerce system in a complete way. So those are pieces of what we plan to build in within the core offering itself. The mobile apps also is what we have been getting requests. So that is also in the pipeline of being built up. There is also a need of getting real-time analytics of what is essentially happening on the site, mainly on the B2B domain, and that also is going to be an admin layer of what will come on top of the Frappe framework. We do not want the user to come in and install the application on an EC2 instance or any other like server where you do an SSH, and we do not want it to be a technical product. So Frappe Cloud definitely is the solution for us. We will be using Docker as the mechanism, and it'll get deployed directly within FC. Add-ons like how I discussed, where in case if you want to make changes to the code without making changes to the core, is what add-ons will help you do that. And there is a plan of kind of adding a lot of themes. Right now we just have 2 available with us, but that is what we will be kind of doing. A big shout to the entire team who has been part of this journey. Everyone has put quite a lot of effort in understanding. There were iterations, so a big shout for their patience as well. The idea of us presenting this is, this is not a solution as a small of what we can build it ourselves. We are looking out for anyone who can contribute in any form. Either it is just giving us features, helping us understand in the code where we have gone wrong, contributing to the code, raising issues. Howsoever you can help us, we are more than happy. Thank you. That's it of what we wanted to showcase. Thank you.
Thank you so much.